And just going back to what we were saying about carbohydrates, and one of the things that I've read and seen in myself as well that can, let's say, blunt the glucose spike that often comes with consuming carbohydrates is pairing them with, fats or protein, or, having something that's high fiber, like, a salad or something before you have that pasta, let's say. I wanted to get your thoughts on that and whether you could give us some examples, sort of practical examples. And then the other question I kind of had is that fats are so often vilified, and we hear about, zero fat and low fat and all these things. But correct me if I'm wrong, I think now the consensus is moving more towards a position where, we understand that fats aren't, evil, and that actually they are necessary if they're the right kind of fats.
Imagine that the Mediterranean diet, the percentage of fat in our diet should be about 40%, up to 40%. So the fat about a low-fat diet was actually coming from other countries than the Mediterranean Sea, following a very strict plan limiting fat intake. We have started actually identifying that having a very low-fat diet is not actually the best for us. What is important to see is the quality of fat. Not all the fats are the same for our body, and we should keep in mind that the majority of the fat should be either monounsaturated, for example, olive oil, or polyunsaturated, which actually is the fat from plants. Like canola oil or avocados, omega-3 from fish, and not saturated fat from meat and whole fat dairy and cheese. And in that way, we can keep a percentage of fat that is slightly higher, which is something that can help us lower the amount of carbohydrates that we are consuming, and also have the satiety effect of the fats, which is actually a very important role, and at the same time cover our needs in fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A and vitamin E, which are very important for our metabolism as well. And combining foods in the past was considered to be bad. For example, you probably remember diets that it was something like a sin combining pasta with meat, and carbohydrates should be separated from protein. But if we combine carbohydrates with protein, what we are doing is actually preserving protein for other functions than to produce energy. And the role of protein is to help us maintain our muscles and our strength, and not to burn it for calories. And this is actually a very important role of combining foods. Not only we can actually flatten the curve of glucose, but at the same time, we can actually maintain our strength and our good function of our body.
That's so interesting. I think my favorite pairing that I've kind of discovered is my morning, like an apple with peanut butter. Which I've seen does wonders for not making my blood glucose spike. So obviously the healthy fats in the peanut butter, right? Or any excuse to eat peanut butter.
Peanut butter is protein and fat, and you are combining with carbohydrates and dietary fiber because you are eating the whole fruit. So if we see it from the nutrient side, you have a complete meal, having all the three types of macronutrients together, and in a form that it is slowly absorbed.